good afternoon. My name is Carl Murphy, and I'm the president and co-founder at Get Spiffy. And today we're talking to Leo Mcghann, one of our senior technicians out here in Los Angeles, California. Good afternoon, Leo. How you doing, buddy?
Good afternoon, sir. Good, great.
Hey, so Leo, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Jamaica. Was born and raised in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica.
Kingston, Jamaica, really?
Yes, sir.
And so what's Jamaica like?
It depends on where in Jamaica, in a different environment, but tropical weather, fruits, just old island life.
Island life, yeah.
Yeah, little island life.
And so what was Leo doing as what did 14-year-old Leo do? Was Leo in trouble? Was he a sports guy? Was he
14-year-old Leo was always good with his hands.
Really?
Yeah. I would take my mom fan from the house, pull it up, grease it up, put it back together, plug it in, and just let it work. I would take little radios, pull the radios up, see what it's make of the components. The speakers, if I have a radio and the speaker is busted, I would go in there and, fix it, find another old speaker, put it back with it, try to make it work. Just kind of creative with my hands. I was really good with my hands growing up.
Yeah, interesting. And so what's school like in Jamaica? I mean, is it the same here in the States, or is it?
Yeah, similar, but it's a little different. We do a lot of vocational stuff there, where training, like you want to be a carpenter, you want to be a mechanic, you want to be, whatever you want to go. They have areas that you can go and pursue your whatever you want to do.
Yeah, interesting. And so, what's your family like? You got brothers and sisters, mom and dad?
Yeah,
what's
I
that
got
look
brothers
like?
and sisters. I have a sister back home. She's a cop. My other brother, he's here in the States, and my mom is a nurse. My father is a cop.
Nice, interesting.
Yeah,
interesting. So you weren't a problem child because there's a lot of cops in the family.
No, my mom, she put the belt on. She put that belt on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she have a strict mom, so she put the belt on. You can't mess up. She tells you to do something, you didn't do it, the belt is coming.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Interesting. Old school.
Old school. Yeah, a little old school. So.
Old school. So then, you're getting out of high school, right? So then what'd you do? Tell me about after high school, what'd you do?
After high school, I went into training, where there's a company in Jamaica. My school provided a program for us that finished. My department was the mechanic department. So with that, my school actually gave us programs to go on the outside to companies that have dealt with cars, and they put us in these programs, so we're able to get hands-on on doing cars. And the thing with Jamaica is, here you can take an alternator off and put an alternator on. For us, we have to fix the alternator, change the brushes out of it, and we have to more
just because of supplies, because there wasn't supplies there.
Yes, supply wasn't that, so it make us more advanced in a sense where we know the function of it and how it functions and how it operates.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
super cool. And so how long was that training?
That lasted a while, because I end up, when I leave school, I end up going back there, and they take me back. They're like, oh, we like the way you work. So they took me back and they trained me more, teach me more. So I developed my skills there even more on top of whatever I already learned.
Yeah. So what was the most difficult stuff you did there?
The difficult stuff for me was learning to do transmission.
Right.
And electrical work.
Right.
And a lot of wires.
Yeah. Finding a bad ground is a disaster.
Finding a bad ground and stuff. So it was challenging.
People don't understand how hard that can be.
Oh yeah.
Why is the light not working?
Yeah. And there's so much other stuff that connects to that.
Yeah, those are rock solid skills though, having that electrical skill set and the transmission stuff.
Yeah.
My dad and I owned a transmission franchise for a while, and it was like a bear. When you know this, right? To repair a transmission, right? It's 50 parts. It's $1,000. You got to take the whole thing apart. It's a big case that comes connected to the bottom of the car. I mean, it's 4 hours just to get the thing apart, right? And then you start fixing it and all that sort of thing. It's an interesting, complicated piece of equipment.
Yeah.
So you went to high school. You had this pretty school, right? You had this disciplined family. Mom ran a tight ship, old school.
Old school, mom.
And dad was keeping the town safe. Being a cop, and so you become this mechanic and get these skills, right? And so you're still in Jamaica. So what do you do after the school? So you went back to work there, and then what's next? What's next on your career path?
Yeah, so went back and worked there for this. They call it transport and repairs, a police department, where they fix all the vehicles come in one location.
Right. Yeah.
And we end up repair those cars there. I did maybe like 8 years there.
8 years. Wow.
Yeah, 8 years there. Then I left, and then I go to Ertz Car Rental, and I work another maybe like 4 years, 5 years right there.
And this is in Jamaica?
This is in Jamaica.
Okay.
And then from there, then I migrate here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So when did you come to the States?
In the 9/11, when 9/11, much of my flight was supposed to actually live where the tower wouldn't hit.
Wow. So like literally September 11th, you're trying to fly to the States.
Exactly.
And so are you, like, do you have a family? Is it just Leo coming to the States?
No, my mom was here.
Okay, your mom is here.
My mom is here.
And she's in L.A., or where was she?
She's in L.A.
She's in L.A. So your mom would come to L.A.,
Yeah.
and you're coming to meet her out here. But no, there's no Mrs. McGhann, there's no kids or anything.
Yes, after that.
At this point.
At
right?
this point, yes.
Right,
But,
so you migrate to the States. And so did you have a job, or you just like coming here to figure it out?
No, when I came here, my mom, she had a store, and she needed help with the store. And she told me, like, I need help. I'm running the store, I'm running this business, and by myself, and I'm here. Can you come help me? I said, okay, great. So, and I was working at Hertz at the time, so I told her, okay, I'll come up. And I come up, migrate here, and help her with the store.
And what kind of store was it?
It was a clothing store.
Clothing store.
And then she had a restaurant.
Oh, wow.
She was a great cook, so.
So she was like super entrepreneur, huh?
Yeah. So I end up have to come, and then she end up close the restaurant, and then continue her nursing here, and then I just help run the store while she goes to work. And then from there, eventually when the recession hit, she closed the store, and then when the recession hit that time.
Yep.
And so she closed the store, and she go full-time nurse, and I end up have to find myself back in my field.
Right.
Of mechanic.
As a mechanic. Yep.
Yeah. And that's where everything start develop.
And so then, this has got to be like 2005 or something, right? And so then, did you go back to the rental car industry, or did you go back to Hertz, or how?
No, I went to the shop, independent shop.
Okay.
Where they work on Mercedes.
Right.
So, on top of the skills that I have in Jamaica, I start working on Mercedes here, and start learning the process of how the German do things on their cars.
Right. It was a little different.
It was a little different from the Japanese.
Right.
So I'm learning that, and from there, I left, and I have a partnership. I left that location, went to another shop, independent shop. Me and this guy open partnership, and I run my section, he run his section. I have my customer, he has his customers.
Right. But you share the building, sort of thing.
We share the building and stuff like that.
How'd that go? Like, so now you're like a business guy, right?
Yeah. So he's like this. So I was like, okay, I got to do my own thing. I got to start. I saw my mom do her entrepreneurship. I said, let me jump out.
Yeah.
And trying to do my own. And it went for a while, and then things didn't so end off rocky with the other guy. So I said, no, what? Let me go to the dealer. And this time, I think we're better. So I went to the dealer, and there was a nice gentleman there, the manager, and he saw me, and he said, I want to talk to him. I said, man, I'm looking for a job. He said, where you from? I hear your accent. Where you from? I said, Jamaica. He said, man, come see me next week. I said, why you say that? He said, you Jamaicans, man, I heard about you guys. Tearing stuff apart, pulling stuff, rebuilding stuff. Because we see...
Because of the training program,
yeah,
right?
the training program, and we didn't have parts, wasn't so prevalent.
Right.
So we have to pull stuff up. So he said, yeah, come on in. And he hired me, and then he sent me to school, get me factory trained, pay for all my classes, keep me on board, and I never disappoint him.
Yeah, nice.
So, yeah.
So then, so now you're at the Mercedes dealership. So you became a Spiffy guy with YLL, right? You were a YLL.
I was a YLL.
YLL technician or supervisor. What was your position there?
I was a technician, kind of lead.
Yeah.
At YLL.
Yep.
And then I was there with them working and everything, go through the process of training. and then Spiffy bought us out.
Yeah, the merger in 2019, and so then what happened? So tell me about how did that go down for you? Like, when did you hear about it? Was it a good thing? Was it jacked up? Like, how did that go down for you?
I
personally?
heard about it within a week before it totally take over.
Right.
For you guys, totally take over a week before. Yeah. But
Well, you're still here, so it must have been okay.
Yeah, I work with the transition, and and Chris talked to me, and work with the transition, and COVID comes in.
Yeah.
COVID shut everything down.
Chaos. Yeah.
Shut the operation down. So we have to close up, and Chris was like, "Oh, you hang on board? Can you want to hang on? You want to go?"
Right.
I said, "Hang on." And he said, "Well, we're going to teach you how to do some wash."
Right. Hey, this is a wash, man.
Teach you how to do some.
This is a red towel, right? Yeah.
So I end up, learning the process, learning how to do decon and the promise and the whole works.
Yep.
And start doing some gravity, all from gravity and stuff like that. So I learned a lot because I didn't know anything about decons or promise or So I learned a lot with that side of it. Yeah.
So do you like? I'm assuming. Do you prefer the maintenance or do you prefer the detail wash side?
The maintenance, because because all the years I've been into cars.
Yeah, I knew. I sort of knew the answer to that, but I thought I should ask.
I kind of gravitate towards the cars, So I think that's where my heart is. So I gravitate towards it more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Interesting. Super interesting. And so, so now it's basically 2021 and. We're busy again, right? Out here on the West Coast, right? It's gotten busy again, and you're running our airport operation, right? You're like the man out there. And for everybody else's benefit, I won't ask Leo this. I'm sure he knows this, but the clients love him out there. Like super. He runs a tight ship. It's like neat and clean, and they're always clearing the lots for him, and so the client's super happy, which makes me happy because I don't have to go deal with problems, and so it's exciting to have that. So tell me about. So I ask guys who are in the field, like, what's the best part about working at Spiffy? Like, what do you look forward to?
For me, I look for a productive day. I always want a productive day. Get up every morning. I say, okay. I tell myself I want to have a productive, successful day. Yes, it comes with challenges, but I'm going to overcome those challenges. And if I have to go the extra mile, then I go the extra mile for me to have that productive day, and then it starts all over again.
Right.
So that's my mentality, how I approach or go to work every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super positive.
Yeah.
Super positive. And so then, like, what's the hard stuff here? Like, what sucks at Spiffy?
I don't see nothing really sucks per se. It's just that the job itself at times have its own challenges, and you just got to deal with it. It comes with the job.
Right.
You don't back away from it. You stand up, you deal with it. It's like, yesterday I have an issue with one of the techs that there's a 740 BMW, 740i BMW. And he took, it's a paper filter. So he took the filter out, but he took the filter and the filter tore in two. Mm. So half is in the filter housing,
in the canister, yeah,
and half is in the cup housing. So he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, he's glad you're there.
Right. So now with my experience, and I know what to do, I have to make a tool.
Right. I gotta
literally make a pick tool.
Right, to get this thing out.
To straighten it out with a vise and straighten it to get it out, because I can't have that car go to the shop or out of service because of that. I have to jump on it, deal with it, fix the problem, and have the vehicle ready to go. So
yeah, I remember the last time I was at your location, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I walk up and you look over at me, you're like, oh God, he always shows up at the wrong time, right? And there's three guys huddled around a car, and they had lost the cap to the an Audi A7, and it has this little, it's like a half the size of a dime cap to the oil drain, to the dipstick, basically. The dipstick cover, right? It doesn't have a dipstick. It has like a dipstick stopper, and the thing's black, right? And the kid dropped it into the engine, and they're looking for it. And they're like, how do we get this thing out of here? It was crazy. So interesting. So let's go back to So you're like immigrant to California. You got family on the ground. You got a job. What's that like? I mean, there's this whole story about people immigrating to the United States for the land of opportunity and all this good stuff. Was it like a positive thing? Was it negative? Did you have like pluses and minuses? Like what's that like?
For me, it was a positive thing
Mm-hmm.
because I see it as growth.
Right.
I'm moving to another phase of my life. I'm moving
Right.
to another step of my life.
Yep.
I didn't know what to expect because for me, coming from one country to another country, then I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
So whatever the challenges or whatever, comes up, I'm just gonna face it and deal with it. And it was a good thing.
Yeah.
Actually, migrating, coming here, yeah, it's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, we speak English, so that's like a plus up over some. I mean, we have a fair amount of immigrants who work for us, and some of them show up and they don't speak English, and it's interesting. My maternal grandparents are immigrants, are Germans, right? And they came over in the 30s, and they didn't really speak English, right? They just spoke German, and they came here trying to escape sort of Nazi culture in Germany and all that sort of thing, and they came over and they came over independently. Like what my grandmother was like 18 or 19, and my grandfather was like 20 or 21, and they met in New York. And so it's interesting. There's all this sort of like negative immigrant stuff that's going on right now, and I'm like, look, we're a nation of immigrants. Like, come on over, get a Social Security card and a job and go to work, and it's a great place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's exciting and it's surprising. Like, as I bounce around the company and talk to people about their personal stories, there's a lot of that around, which is cool. So tell us, like, what's like Leo do when he's not at work?
When I'm not at work, I spend time with the kids on the weekends because during the week I don't really see the kids,
Right.
Because they live with their mom, so I end up spending time with them on the weekends.
Right. And so tell me about your kids.
Oh, Linnea, she's 14, and Lincoln is 10, and they're pretty nice.
So you got two, boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl. Yeah, they're good kids.
Yeah.
They're good kids. Really good kids.
Nice. I tell people, so I have a now a 17-year-old boy and a 21-year-old girl, and being a parent is the most difficult job in the world. It's just hard. In my particular case, I try to like fix the problems of my problems and my kids. Like you sort of like project you on them, and then you don't want them to be better or different, and they don't want any part of it, and they're not going to be you anyhow. And so it's just a whole weird thing, and it's just the most difficult thing. I will tell you, it's interesting. I feel like I became a better manager and a better leader once you have kids.
Yes.
This,
Yes.
you have to have like this unconditional love and this empathy and patience, and I didn't have any of that before I was a parent, and so
Right.
it got a lot better.
Yeah.
I think everybody in the company was glad to see me have kids because they're like, God, he's like chilled out. I'm like, I'm just worn out, dude. They're killing me at home.
Yeah, the daughter. If you have a daughter, she as a father, she tend to pull on you. She pull on your heart. She tug on your heart.
For sure.
Even when you say
I got
no.
one of those. She knows.
Yeah.
She knows what it's like.
Yeah. Even when you say no. Oh, I'm not gonna give you these shoes. But Dad, okay, all right. You see, it's so quick. You change from no, I'm not gonna give you. I already got 20 pair of shoes. But Dad, I see one more that I like. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Let me go. So it's girls always they tug on you. They know how to get.
I think for sure every guy at Spiffy who has a daughter identifies with that for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So you got two kids. You see them on the weekends. What else do you have? Like hobbies? Like, so you're like a big mechanical guy. Do you have hobbies?
Hobbies. I do. I watch sports. I watch basketball.
Uh-huh. So who's your team?
Oh, the Clippers.
The Clippers. Oh
Yeah.
wow, not a Lakers guy. You're a Clippers guy.
Nah, the Lakers are cool, but sometimes I go for the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see them win a championship one day. So I kind of root for them because they're underdog. But
And so you're a hoops guy. And any other sports? Here in LA, you guys have everything in the world, so you get to.
Yeah. Sometimes I watch some soccer.
Uh-huh.
What Manchester United or.
Oh wow, yeah.
I watch a little.
Were you a soccer guy in Jamaica?
Jamaica. Oh, right now the team is so jumbled. It's
yeah. But as a kid, did you play soccer as a kid?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because in Jamaica the sports every kid that go to school have to play sports. So it's either gonna be a running, you're gonna do running, you're gonna play soccer, you're gonna play cricket. There's something that they're gonna push you into. So that's why Jamaicans, they have this, so many sprinters, because we've been sprinting from so young.
Uh-huh.
So they have all these Merlin Hottie, Usain Bolt, all
Mhm.
these fast people, just because we're running from a small age.
Right.
So if you continue, you grow up into it. So now become a sprinter. So
Interesting. I didn't know that about the education system, and I didn't know that about like the vocational side of it.
yeah.
Interesting. So like tell me some funny stories about Spiffy. Like what's some wacky stuff that's going on here that you've seen? It's Spiffy or YLL, right? Like you can be either one.
Oh man, it's so much little things, but it's just mostly based upon cars. Just like when you came by the other day, and that little thing fell, and we're looking for it. I took the top off, looking for it, can't find it, and we eventually get the air hose. I even suggested, get the air.
You get the air hose out, yeah.
And then I blow the top, trying to find it. It's never come. And then the other tech, it just went under the car and started blowing. It fell right out.
Yeah, this is for everybody in Spiffy. This is a pro tip. If you lose the oil
stopper.
Yeah, the stopper on the oil drain plug.
Q7.
Yeah, for an Audi Q7.
Q7.
The way to find it is an air gun. Just be careful you're blowing in the right direction. Blow it away so you can go find it. But Leo was lucky; he was inside, and it was great concrete. So as soon as it hit the ground, it was easy to find.
Yeah.
It was funny. Chris was like scrambling. He's like, I gotta find an Audi dealer. I hope they have these in stock, right?
Yeah.
So that stuff happens. It's part of the operation. You just gotta make it work, right? You gotta figure it out. These little things. As hard as we try to have standardized procedures and processes, again, the kid didn't do anything wrong. It just sort of slipped out of his fingers, right? And it's this little piece, this little part that's.
The engine is so compact. Just have so much little pockets that
Yeah.
you don't know which way it goes.
Those damn German engineers, like, they didn't think about how to maintain the car. They just like packing it in there. That's good. So what's like your favorite car to work on?
My favorite car. I got so much. Toyota, Nissan, Honda.
You like all the Japanese cars?
Yes, and I like Bentley too.
You like Bentleys?
Yes.
Have you worked on some Bentleys?
Yes.
We don't service a lot of
Bentleys.
Bentleys.
I do Bentleys, Range Rovers. I'm not a big fan of BMW. I do work on them. And Ford. Not a big fan of Ford, but I do work on them.
Really?
Yeah, I do work on them. And that's some of the vehicle that I really mess with. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And so, like, what's the future look like for Leo? Tell me about, like, what's the next couple of years? Are you going to stay at Spiffy? You like it here? You want to move on? You want to go back to the dealership? What's the future?
Future with Spiffy, I want to stay at Spiffy and grow. Grow with Spiffy and see what the future holds. And then, make the best of what I have here at Spiffy. Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. So do you like so you're running the airport, which is basically a fixed site, right? So we're working out of a building there and helping our clients get better with their maintenance issues. Do you like the fixed site or do you like the mobile business? Because I know during COVID you're doing a lot of mobile work. You're like driving all over Southern California.
All over Southern California. Yeah, I don't know.
Like you've been out to like Palm Springs, right?
Everywhere.
Victorville,
Palm Springs, Yucca Valley, places I never ever been before. And it's a great experience because I learned a lot of cities that I'd never been before since I've been to LA. So you have a reason to go out there,
right?
And work it. So the experiences was wonderful just to learn that. Stationary to be on the fixed site. I like fixed sites. I like fixed sites. It was a great experience to travel all over LA, but I like fixed sites because I'm able to see what the guy's done, able to get them focus on what need to be done, more than out there every day.
It's nice. I like it as a leader because there's a lot of business and you can put a bunch of folks there and get them up to speed really fast from a proficiency standpoint.
Yes.
Because a senior guy like you can be there to help them.
Yes.
And they really get up to speed much faster than
being out there,
being on their own, trying to sort it out. I mean, we do a good job of training them, but there's always sort of these little, again, like the drain cap stuff and little things that happen.
Yeah, they just got to develop. I mean, each tech you train, they just got to develop their own skill.
Yep.
over a period of time, and you can train them and show them that they develop their own skills, and they gotta learn, build up their own speed too.
Right.
At the same token, but yeah, it's
Interesting. So let me ask you this question: if you were recruiting for Spiffy and you're talking, you're interviewing potential new hires for technician jobs, what would you tell them?
first thing I ask them: do you like mechanical work? Do you enjoy doing this type of work? Because if you don't enjoy it, or if you don't like it or love it, then you don't have the interest to push yourself further. You would just say whatever, just a job, okay, whatever. So if you like what you do, you enjoy cars, you enjoy working on cars, you enjoy doing stuff on cars, then yes, this is a place for you to start. We can train you, get you developed, and push you forward.
And so, what would you? So really good one. That's a good question or a good comment. What would you tell them? Are the reasons why people leave Spiffy? Like, hey, we've had these guys leave. They come in and they leave. What makes someone leave Spiffy as a technician?
Well, reason why I think they leave is because they realize this job might not be for them, because they might heard about it, see it online, apply for it. The numbers might look good, but when they come in and see what they have to do, they might realize, oh, this job is maybe not for me, and they probably seek somewhere else, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because end of the day, you don't want them to come in and waste all the time and then realize the job is not for theirs. And you train them, you put all the time in, you put all that stuff in, and in the day they realize it's not. So if they see that earlier on that this job is not for me, then it's okay. It's just part of the process.
And so what makes it not for them?
It's kind of tough to say what made it not for them, but I feel like it's what the process of how they see what they have to do, and they probably like,
Yeah, I mean, we have a rigid process, and
because,
do it this way.
Do it this way because
we're not,
we on the lower part. We don't have a lift.
Yeah.
We don't have the luxury of a lift, so we have to use a jack. We have to use stands and all that kind of stuff. So probably that, a lot of bending. They might have a bad knee.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible anything, bad back, or whatever. Anything can happen, and they're like,
they didn't realize how heavy. They didn't realize how heavy a Suburban tire was.
Yeah, so they might, I got to jack this stuff up or whatever. So they realize, I might have to ship to something else. So,
Interesting.
That's what it is.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so I ask everyone this question: if you were me, what would you do differently at Spiffy, or what would you change?
That's a tough one. Because with what you have to do, you're on the inside, you know what to do. But it's a tough one to be you in your shoes, because I don't know what you have to do on a day-to-day basis. So for me to kind of answer that, it's a tough one.
Yeah. So like, fair enough. What could we improve on in Spiffy?
There's always room for improvement in any company. Anywhere you go, always room for growth, always room for improvement. Right now, we working. It's a work in progress. That's all I can say. It's a work in progress. Everything is not going to be 100% perfect, but if there's something that I see that I can able to say something to Chris about, say, well, can we improve on that, or we need to get that to make this better, then definitely I bring it to his attention, and I know he's going to bring it to your attention. But there's always room for growth. Always.
Interesting. Thanks. You have any questions for me?
Any questions for you? Not really.
No.
Not right now.
You're like an easy interview.
Yeah. Not right now. I mean, not right now. I can't think of one just top of my head, like straight up. Not one right now. Not right now. Maybe later on, but not right now.
Okay. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. So, Leo Mcghann, supervisor, LAX Airport. Thanks for your time today. My name's Carl Murphy. I'm the president and co-founder at Spiffy, and this is the Operations Underground, connecting operators across the world. Have a great day.